Hello, thank you for coming back and joining me. Today, we're going to plant some Albion strawberries. I've been experimenting with strawberries in my area because the sun will cook them to a crisp if you're not careful. So we've been experimenting with different places in different years, and I've killed many a strawberry plant. So today, let me show you what I've learned so far, what the experiment's going to be this year, and we'll go from there. These strawberries, you can tell we're running a little late on getting these planted. They're already blooming. So we're going to be cutting all those off, and we're going to have to trim up some of these plants. Now I've created some popsicle sticks for it, and we're going to be planting 4 of the plants today. So I have popsicle sticks here that are nicely labeled so that I can lose track of what they are. Now, one of the things about strawberries that a lot of people do wrong is they plant them in normal potting soil. This is a bad thing for strawberries. They won't get that big. They deserve and want a lot of oxygen down into the root area. In our area, there's a lot of places that actually grow them in sand, and you'll get the biggest strawberries. My soil mix that we're doing this year with this is I'm using Cactus mix and I put in about 40% peat moss in with it. So you can choose Miracle Grow or one of the others. Doesn't matter, I use Kellogg's. You get a real nice mix, as you can see here. And this year, we're going to be planting our strawberries. Actually, these pots are going to be put up in the front yard where they get shaded most of the day so that our sun doesn't cook them to the ground, and they're going to be on a drip system that I put in, so hopefully they do much better. Let's go ahead and we'll get started here. We're going to dig a hole down, create a planting hole here for them. Now the soil right now is damp to dry. We'll be watering these in once we get them in there. And I'm going to try to get some of the biggest ones out of here first. So and you can see here's our berry plant. We're going to break up the roots a little bit. It's a little root bound here. And then, like I said, we got to pull off some of this stuff. We don't want it to set berries while we're transplanting. Got this whole berry section here we'll just take right on off. This berry's kind of been a little eaten on, so it's not quite ripe. We won't bother with it. We'll just litter the garden with this. And we're going to go through. There's some dead leaves here. We're going to go ahead and get those pulled off. But you can see the crown of the strawberry and how it was planted here. And we're going to want to make sure that we don't plant below the crown. I've got it set so that the new part that I just planted is just slightly proud of the rest of the soil here. Pushing just a thin layer of the Cactus mix over the top of the peat moss that they had these in. Now, I really should have ordered bare root, but I wanted to do this experiment and these berries were up and going. I really don't prefer them to be in peat moss like they did with the pure peat moss. But we're going to run the experiment. We're going to set this one aside. And we're going to take one of our little Albion labels. We're going to slide that right on inside here. And strawberry plants, when you're growing them to get to a larger size, they need room. A lot of people don't give strawberries enough of room to grow. When they have a sandy type soil, the roots will go very, very deep. Well, you know, they'll get down to over a foot deep or even more, but the soil has to be very sandy. It's going to mean in the summertime, these things will have to be watered twice a day. You know, modern technology with watering is very doable, and you know, there's no reason why you can't set your drip up to do that for them. And you'll get rewarded. These plants will, provided I don't kill them in the heat, these plants will fill out these containers. And Albion is a pretty big berry. We're going to go ahead and get this one popped out here. I'm just getting everything kind of pulled down here. Dead leaves, we don't need those. This one, as you can see, it's fairly root bound as well. We really want to get that pulled apart. I've had these for a month, so this is my fault. This is not the fault of where we bought them. I should have taken care of this long ago. And I'm going to do kind of like what I do with all my plantings. Now, we're not going to force this, but there we go. I like to, with my plantings, pull off this excess along the top here. It's a little late. You know, we'll get some strawberries, but my goal is just to have them make it through the summer. If they get through the summer, then they'll do just fine in the winter here. There's not much issue. They'll just die back. Now we got our second one here. Put our little plant stick in right there for us. Yeah, because of the sunlight and stuff, we actually grow our hydrangeas up in the front of the house because our property faces due north for the front and due south for the back. So we have great microclimates. Now we're going to slide these around here and get a little bit more room on the wagon here. Because I've neglected them a little bit, you can see there's some damage that occurred. I lost a few plants. That's not good, but let's see what we can do here next. I lost a few of these because of bad watering. So they were actually sitting up in a tray up front now that got filled with water every day once I discovered I was starting to kill them off already. Because there's just not a lot of room in these little pots. We have marine layer in again this morning, some overcast, so we're in the 50s right now, and we'll be heading up towards a high of 80 degrees today. Now this crown, they went a little deeper on. I'm going to go ahead here. You can see we're just going to pull all this top part off. And what you're seeing there is we're going to expose the crown out a little more here. And you can see because this one was stunted here, it's still overgrown, and root bound here. Not as much damage that I have to do with it. So we'll go ahead and planting hole dug. Now once I really get these watered in a couple of days after they're hooked up to the drip system, I'll do a liquid fertilizer of them. But I want to get them through their transplant shock here and get them into the drip is more important. There is some nutrients already in this cactus mix, compost and stuff. Get another one of our tongue depressors. Slap that in the pot. The only downside to cactus mix is it's a bit heavier. Now we see I lost 3 of them because of my neglect here. We have one that looks like it's coming back nicely. Oh, another thing for the garden. Now I'm gonna cut above the rest. What I'll do a lot is I'll actually just come along, get everything way out there, you know, just to get stuff out of the way. And then I'll come in for the detail work here. Clean things up here, as you'll see. And we're gonna roll this pot over right here. We definitely have some green coming up. They planted this one a little too deep as well. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do this again. We're gonna pull this back. And you can see here, I'm just pulling back the top. We're gonna get this crown exposed here before it rots. Now we got the peat moss pulled back off of it. And now we can see if this is gonna recover here. It's not real root bound because it got stunted here. So we're going to rough up some roots. Watch that berry plant right there will come back with a vengeance. Albion strawberries are a very prolific berry. They've been grown for years as a commercial variety. I have no doubt that they'll come back just fine. Now let's see what we're going to do with our last crown here and take a quick look around. I may have to go off and get a pot here, but let's see if this berry plant here is salvageable here. No, I'm getting into the crown here. I don't see a lot of hope for it. So, you know, we're gonna call this one done. So we're gonna say that I got 4 out of the 6 berries. Yeah, this it's well rooted, but I'd like to see it better. I'm not too worried. If I'm successful with these, they'll start putting off runners and I'll have more berries than I know what to do with, or at least plants, at least before I kill them. And I will save this container because this is a nice little planting container. I didn't do any damage to it here. See, we can just pop these domes back down. And this one's the worst here, so let's see if we can make this a beautiful container again. And look at that. This container's all ready for us to go. We'll drop it behind the ring back over there. That is it for our strawberry planting. I'm hoping my design or my setup with it this year goes well. We'll give them partial shade and we'll see what we get here. Grab the watering wand here and go ahead and we have a backflow preventer on the hose so it picks up air after you turn the water off. We want these pots here to drain, so we'll water those in. If you found this video helpful, click the like button so other people can find some information out of it. And if you want to see more of my videos, hit that subscribe button. Otherwise, you can hang out here and we can watch paint dry. Oh wait, that's me watering. And heck, if I do my job, YouTube should right about now be recommending you another one of my videos to watch. I want to thank you for joining, and I'll be bringing you more exciting info. I don't have outtakes to sell. This is the best you're going to get. No, I don't record for outtakes. Watching me water is the best you're going to get for outtakes for the end of the video. I think it's just best for us all just to part ways now. Thank you for watching.